What's going on YouTube? Sick Fix here. Today we're going to be talking about life after addiction and some of the things you can look forward to. Let's get it. Look forward to after addiction. There's a lot of things you can look forward to after addiction. When I was in the middle of addiction, I just always thought being sober was the worst, just because of how many things I attached my drinking and using opiates to. I just thought nothing would be as fun as the drugs I was using and the hobbies that I attached them to. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. And these are some of the things that you can actually look forward to after you're done with your addiction, so you're not just sitting there going, well, I worked this hard to get through and now life is kind of dull. I mean, it will be dull for a little bit, but there's a lot of things, good things that you can look forward to. And the first one is my favorite one, which is waking up feeling good. I tell a lot of people that the main reason I don't go back to drinking or any of that is because I love waking up early and feeling good in the morning. I didn't have that for like 4 or 5 years. I always woke up feeling like crap. And just waking up and getting some coffee and just enjoying the morning, and I like it because it feels like it's my time. And I never really had that when I was drinking and whatnot. So feeling good in the morning is something you can really look forward to because you get a great start to the day and it's your time. So that's a really big thing you can look forward to, and not waking up feeling like crap. So getting a good start on the day, getting some breakfast, it's just awesome. The next one is not always stressing where you're gonna get money so you can get your next fix or whatever. That's a huge one. I always hated thinking about the next day. Even if I got my drink or whatever, I was always worried. I couldn't even enjoy it because I was always worried about, well, where's my next bottle gonna come from? Where am I gonna get the next dollar from? Who am I gonna have to rob? I mean, I didn't really rob, I've never really robbed anybody, but you know what I mean. You never really have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about who's your next connect that you have to contact. So you're never thinking about that, which means that you got more time on your hands. You can be thinking about a whole bunch of other things throughout the day. That's not something that's gonna be on your mind all the time. And I'm telling you, it feels really good. So number 3, or the next one, is career advancement. When you know as well as I do, or if you're new to the channel and you don't know anything about addiction, addicts can't hold jobs. We hold them down for maybe 2 or 3 months. That's about it. And it's not fun. It really isn't fun going from job to job to job. It kind of it really gets your confidence down. It makes you feel like a failure. Well, when you're past addiction, or you're really past addiction, you've gone through the recovery phase and whatnot, yeah, you can hold down a job and you can really focus on that job. Even if it's not your favorite job, you really can focus on it. And that just builds your confidence. It makes you feel good. And I know when I got through the addiction, I worked at Subway, and it wasn't the best job ever, but there was just something to be said about being there on time and not having to think about, drinking or anything throughout the day, and just really focusing on working. It really built my confidence up, and it made me feel like I was accomplishing something. Even though it was Subway, it's baby steps. It makes you feel really awesome, and it just drives that domino effect, one domino hitting the other, of just getting better. So another big one is repairing the family and repairing friendships. I damaged my family big time because I took things from them, I lied to them all the time, and it just wasn't good. But when you get through addiction and through the recovery process, you mend those relationships. And it's just something to be said about your family starting to trust you. And I'll give you an example. I think it was about 5 years after I had taken my last pill, my opiate pill, and my mom actually said, hey, I don't know what kind of pain pills my doctor gave me. I forgot what it was for. I think maybe a tooth. She had something wrong with her tooth or something. And I looked at the bottle and I was like, yeah, these are Percocets. These are awesome. And I told her, you know, don't take too many of them. And she goes, okay. And I think she did this on purpose, but she left them on the table. And I go down to see her every weekend. So I was down there for the whole weekend. And she left them on the countertop for the whole weekend. And there was just something to be said knowing that she didn't have to tell me anything about that, but that she trusted me to not take anything out of her pill bottle, that she could just leave them on the countertop. That's something that you can look forward to. And nobody can take that away, and it just feels awesome. And I know I'm saying awesome a lot, but all these feelings really are awesome, because when I was going through addiction, it really did scare the shit out of me, knowing that I was going to be sober and life wasn't going to be fun. So don't think that way. Life is going to be fun. A lot of fun. You just have to take it one step at a time and listen to people and hear the things that I'm telling you, because these things are true. And I forgot to say that I'm not a counselor or an addiction specialist or anything, so these are just my opinions. And I don't want to get in trouble with anything like that, so just know that I'm not a psychologist or anything. So you can start dating again. You can start to have real relationships, and start giving, instead of giving 10% and having a short fuse all the time, you can start giving 50% or more, you know, depending on what kind of person you are. I mean, I usually give more, but I've learned over time that it's give and take, and you don't want to do that. But depending on who you are, you can give as much as you want now, because you can hold down a job, you got money in your pockets now, and you can take your date out, you know, to dinner. I mean, not right now because of COVID and whatnot, but you know what I mean. And it's just nice getting back into the dating pool. Now, I will be talking, my next video will be about dating after addiction, because there are some caveats with that. But for the most part, you can start dating and you can start seeing people, and man, it's nice. I remember the first date that I went on to after getting through the recovery process and everything, and when I was feeling confident enough to go on a date with somebody while they could have a drink and I wouldn't be peer pressured to have a drink, it was nice. And you know, and you can openly start talking about it as well, which leads me into my next point. You can start openly talking about your experiences with addiction, and the more you talk about it, the more it minimizes it, and it makes it less of your life, and that is huge. The more you can minimize that experience, the more you have control over it. And I've noticed the more I talk about it, the more I can move past it, and that's a huge thing to look forward to. That's something nobody can take away either. So you can start enjoying new hobbies. You can start finding new hobbies. Start attaching new emotions and new emotions to the new experiences you are about to have with new things. Now, you can go back to your old hobbies that, like I touched in one of my first videos, is you can go back to your old hobbies that you used to have while you were doing your drug of choice or whatever. I wouldn't recommend it until you are 100% confident in doing that, where you're not going to be triggered to do anything. But you can do that. But I would recommend finding new stuff to where you can, something that you've never done before, to where your brain doesn't even click like, oh, you know, why isn't there alcohol involved? There's not going to have any type of clicking in your brain with that type of, with whatever your drug of choice is, that part won't come up creeping in your brain whenever you're doing something new. It'll just be good, clean fun, and you'll just get to experience it. And then you'll start to, once again, it'll be the domino effect. You start realizing you can have fun without, drinking or whatever. Man, that really helped me, because I'm telling you, it really did. That was a big thing, because I attached fun to drinking with everything, because I attached it to all my fun hobbies and hanging out with people. Everything I did, I was always drinking. So I just was always scared that I was never gonna have fun again, and life was just gonna be dull. But it's not. I took up mountain biking, and It is one of the funnest things you can do. I mean, be careful because obviously it's somewhat dangerous, but you know, you get those good endorphins running through your body and you get that natural high. I know I'm not supposed to use that word with addicts, but it really is. It's a natural high. You get the good endorphins running through your body and it feels good. And you want to keep finding those new hobbies, and like I said, one domino after another. And it really helps. So your personality comes back. I did touch upon this in my last video, how you know, addiction with something can really dull out your personality. Well, when you're in the recovery phase and the longer you get past your addiction, the more your personality starts to show through, come back. You start laughing at videos that you never used to laugh at, you know, until before the addiction. You just really you start surprising yourself. Really, you start cracking jokes. You start smiling a lot, you know, and people really take notice to that, and that once again, domino effect, that makes you want to do it more, and it feels good. And nothing beats than when the real you starts to shine through, because that's what people are attracted to in the first place. Don't ever think that you have a bad personality. I always say that. You don't. Be you. The right person will come along and find you, you know, as far as dating goes, but people are attracted to genuineness. I guess that's what you would call it. People want that. So don't be afraid, and just enjoy when your personality starts to come back. I know I did. So confidence. One of the biggest things you're gonna love is that confidence boost. All these things that I've listed already is just a domino effect, and it's really gonna boost your confidence. And the longer you go without doing what you previously did, the more confident you are gonna be as far as tackling anything. Now, I always wanted to do YouTube for a long time, but the longer I went without doing my drug of choice and whatnot, now I'm just like, I'm gonna do it. I'm ready to do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the plunge, and if I fail, who cares? You know. I mean, plus, I'm doing this because I really want to help people. You know, if I don't get the viewership or whatever that I would really like to get, who cares? As long as this can help somebody get through their addiction, then that's what really matters. So, but yeah, your confidence will spike, and it will take some time. It's not going to come all at once, but it will slowly start coming on, and you'll really start to see it, and it'll help you with everything in life. With your job, it'll help you move forward in your career. It will help you go and ask for that raise that you've been debating about, because now you got the confidence to do it. And addicts, you know, previous addicts and anybody that's gone through the process will tell you that it is not an easy process. It's probably the toughest thing you'll ever go through. I don't want to take away from anybody else who's gone through some really bad things, like, you know, pregnancy and things like, because there are some other tough things out there, but addiction is really, really tough. And if you do go through it, there's nothing you won't be able to do. So, and that ties in with, you can do anything. You know, with the confidence, you really can. There's nothing that you can't do. If you set your mind to it, you will be able to do it. Now, whether you succeed or not is a different story, but that doesn't matter. It's about life is about just getting back up, you know, and if you can get back up, then you can go after something else, and something will click. And that's what life is really about. So you always got to keep getting back up. And the last one I would say is looking forward to the future. You really can start planning, because when you were an addict, you really only thought one day at a time. You didn't really know what day it was. All you were thinking about was, where am I gonna get my next hit, or my beer, or whatever it is. And when that's gone, you really can start to think about, like, what do I want to do in life? You know, what do I really like? And when the more your personality comes back, the more you'll start to realize what you really want to do. I'm still kind of in, like, I don't really know what I want to do. I have a job that's but it pays the bills, and I live comfortably and whatnot. And I'm starting YouTube, obviously, but you know, nothing has really clicked. The only thing I really know I really enjoy doing is helping people. So I figure I'd try with the YouTube. But anyways, you can really start to figure out what you want to do, and tie the things that you like together. And And it's beautiful. It really is. It's fucking beautiful knowing that you can plan out your future and not think about one day ahead of you. You can start thinking about, hey, what's gonna happen in the next couple of years? Where do I want to be? Where do I want to live? Hell, you can move. I mean, really, the sky's the limit when you're past addiction. And knowing that you've gone through that, it really is a big boost. And I would say you're ahead of the competition because your competition hasn't gone through what you've gone through. And you're gonna have an upper leg on them. You really will. You may not think that at the time, but you do. You really have a leg up on the competition. And if you look at it that way, man, you really will be able to beat out your competition as far as, you know, your career and whatnot. So anyways, if you liked what you heard, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, you know what to do. If there was anything I missed, write it down in the comments below. I love, you know, listening to you guys. If there's any other topics you want me to bring up, I'll bring them up and, you know, maybe make a video out of it. And yeah, you guys stay strong, and I'll talk to you guys later.